teach you.
It sounds harsh, but the beauty of it is once you figure it out, once you figure out how to build yourself from the ground up, that is something that nobody can take away from you. And you will know no matter what happens, if everything was taken away and you had to start over from zero, you've done it before, you can do it again. And that is a level of confidence that most people wish they had.
The tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy of life lies in having no goal to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity not to dream. It is not a disgrace not to reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for.
There's fucking excuses here. And every fucking excuse that you tell yourself, every lie that you tell yourself, every fucking little story you tell yourself about not being able to do what it is you want to do because of whatever the it is, that's just you telling yourself another thing that will keep you where you are for a longer period of time. And where you are is somewhere that you don't want to be.
Fear of failure. Fear of failure can keep you from taking risk. It can leave you sitting there paralyzed into not taking action. But I don't want you to overcome fear of failure. I want you to be afraid of failure. Fear of failure is good. Fear of failure will keep you up at night planning, rehearsing.
But in order to become that somebody, you've got to discover, what is it that my body loves doing? What is it that my mind can't take off of it? What is it that keeps me up at night? What is it that stirs me up when I see it? What gets me emotionally involved, engaged, and connected?
Fear of failure will keep you training hard. Fear of failure will stop you from cutting corners. Fear of failure will keep you working, thinking, striving, and relentlessly trying to be more prepared for battle. So I want you to be afraid of failing.
Because you found your calling. And calling is the exact word you want to use, because your passion and your purpose have been calling you before you were born.
If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts. Man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I just don't feel myself. In the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, just stop for a second and start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Everything you already have, because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time. There is no secret, there is no quick fix, there is no hack, there is no path of least resistance. The quickest way for you to go from where the f you are to where you want to be is that you're trying to avoid doing.
But I'll tell you right now, you might not be in control of what the world gives you, but you're always in control of what you accept. This life is not an external battle, my people. This life is an internal war. Your greatest battle is here. So my question I want to ask you right now is, what are the things that are in your control that you can change right now? You can control and change the internal dialogue that you're having within yourself.
I want you to be horrified, terrified of sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. That is what I want you to be afraid of. Waking up in 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 years or 60 years and being no closer to your goal. you've made no progress. That is the horror. That is the nightmare. That is what you really need to be afraid of, being stagnant. So, get up and go. Take the risk, take the gamble, take the first step, take action. And don't let another day slip by.
The very thing you're pursuing in your life is very simple. It is fulfillment. That's it. Now, I sum up fulfillment very simply. How do you feel about yourself when you're by yourself? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you're making the most of your life? Are you tapping into what the Greeks called TEKKEN? So you really have to work hard for a set of skills that matter to you. Now, the skills have to matter. That's a key part of the equation. Once the skills matter to you and they allow you to serve not only yourself but other people, and then you actually go and serve those people, but I want to make sure that everybody understands the game that you're playing is a game of neurochemistry. A fool never learns. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Before you even know what you're supposed to do, your steps are already lined up. But you gotta get in line. You gotta go after it. You gotta want it. It will not just show up. It's gotta be something that you pursue and that it means the world to you. It's got to be something that if it were for free, I would still do it. But because when you go after the thing that you're called to do, your calling will take care of you. Money and things that you were worried about, you don't have to concern yourself with that. It will make a way, but only when you make that way towards your passion.
If a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves, see how you'd like to live your life, see yourself living it that way. Now understand that that's a picture in your mind, and then take that picture and describe it, write it out in the present tense. Start to read it and read it and read it and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers all down through history have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie, but if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it.
Hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. And the moment you decide to make a different choice, you're going to feel uncomfortable because you're stepping from the known into the unknown.
See, you can do anything. You can get up any hour, read any book, take any class, make any change, develop any skill, do any discipline. I mean, you can do it all when this how and the why, or when the why starts to grow. The how gets simple.
Most challenges, opposition, adversity that we encounter are internal. Even though on the surface it looks to be external. Because when you come up against something, whether it be a person, situation, or circumstance, in perception, our perspective will go to a space and place that is external. When the course and the path to victory is internal. Meaning we possess everything we need in order to be victorious over the things that we encounter.
But we look at problems, situations, circumstances, adversities as something to be external, when really it's something that's internal because we possess everything we already need in order to get through it.
There's a peculiar magic in realizing you're not the same person who started the journey. It's not a loss of who you were. Rather, it's an evolution into the person you were always meant to become. Embrace the transformation.
Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so it looks like this ocean that you're going to step into and drown. But as soon as you step into it, you realize it was not that deep at all, and you can keep walking through it.
Face your fears, whatever they are. The fear that we might not do a good job. The fear that it might not turn out as we hope it would. The fears that are lurking there, some that have come and have been there even maybe since our childhood. Life is consisted of both fear and faith. Faith, of course, is the ability to overcome your fears. But what you have to do in terms of your fears, about perhaps your own inadequacy, not feeling strong enough at the moment, you just have to face those fears. You just have to go to work on it.
The pursuit of your goals will rarely be easy. You're going to feel discomfort, frustration, and self-doubt most of the time. But instead of getting discouraged, understand that there's growth in the struggle. You can't become someone you've never been by doing the things you've always done. Be proud of the effort you're putting in. Be patient with the results, because it's only a matter of time before you come out on top.
It's a part of life. You know, we were made to evolve and grow, and that means you're gonna outgrow people. That means you're gonna outgrow situations and places and things, and that is okay.
Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not going to understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're going to end up frustrated. The best advice I can tell you is go on the journey by yourself. It is the best journey, man. Leveling up, becoming the best version of yourself is the most awesomest journey you will ever go on. But it's a journey that you will probably go on by yourself.
You always have to be the person who roots for you before everyone else does. And it's usually a single clap in the auditorium for a very long period of time. It is a slow clap that's just you rooting for you.
Sometimes sitting there thinking about the life that you want to live and the person you want to be and the simply isn't enough. If thinking about all the things that you want in your life isn't enough to get you going, why don't you sit there and think about the things that you don't want? All the feelings you don't want to experience. All the pain you don't want to feel. If you just can't visualize the bright future ahead of you, why don't you sit there and contemplate all the darkness that you're going to be surrounded by if you don't do what you need to do? Like sitting on your deathbed wishing you could do it all over again differently, but you can't. Wishing you had done what you need to do now when it's too late to do it. Ask yourself the question, what does the future look like if I don't do what I know I need to do?
Once you take that first step, you look the beast in the face and you'll start progressing, not linearly, but exponentially in speed. So what's cool is that it doesn't really matter how small that first step is, because it'll start doubling, and anything that doubles grows unbelievably quickly. And so that's a very useful thing to know too.
I think the bigger question is, do you know yourself? You know, I think like there's unlimited people who are successful and happy that got straight A's, and there's unlimited people who are successful and happy who got D's and F's. The question is, who are you? Which version of the game are you? What do you like? Who do you want to be? And I think that's what you need to focus on.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life. Each is the price of the other. What if what you're going through isn't hard? What if you're just sensitive?
At some point, you have to forget what other people think about you. Nothing you do has to make sense to anyone else. Your dreams don't have to align with what others think is best for you, because you're the one who has to live with the consequences of your actions. Start prioritizing your happiness above being a people pleaser. It's your turn to be the main character of your story.
You need a vision for your life. Vision is the ability to look into the invisible and to create and to see that which does not exist.
There are times in your life when you're not going to be happy. And then what are you going to do? Your goal is demolished. And there are going to be plenty of times in your life when you're not happy. There might be years. And so it's a shallow boat in a very rough ocean.
Because we all gonna hit that wall. We're all gonna hit opposition. We're all gonna hit adversity. But I think we all know at the core, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. You can control that. Like, people are resilient. Like, resilient, got the fortitude. Like, you put a goal in front of them, they'll smash it, they'll chase it down. People are resilient. Like, when you put goals in front of them, they chase it, resilient. Right? And if you're resilient, you'll get whatever you're looking for if you're resilient.
What do I do when I'm broken? When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it.
You've got to be willing to change your ways. Your life is working. If you don't like what you have produced, you're a director, you are the star, you wrote this script. You produced this, whatever it is. If it's a hit, you produced it. If it's a flop, you produced it. Take ownership of it and decide to go back to the drawing board and rewrite the script that you are the star of. You have the power to do that. On this day, you can declare that I'm going to change.
And so every single day, with whatever you do, if it's football, if it's basketball, whatever the case may be, every single day when you do it, before you approach it, ask yourself a question. Like, at the core, I'm talking about with conviction. Say, why do I really do it? But most importantly, who am I really doing it for?
If I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them?
Happiness is something that descends upon you. Everyone knows that. You know, it comes upon you suddenly, and then you should be grateful for it. What you should be pursuing instead is, well, there's two things. You should be pursuing who you could be. That'd be the first thing. It's like, because you're not who you could be, and you know it. You have guilt and shame and regret, and you berate yourself for your lack of discipline and your procrastination and all your bad habits. You know perfectly well that you're not who you could be. And God only knows who you could be. And so that's how you should be that's what you should be striving for.
When you find yourself disappointed in life, when you find yourself coming up short in life, you can either complain about it or you can choose to learn from it.
Like, I'm a firm believer that God redirects and maneuvers us when he has us on a mission. Right? And in the redirection, I think true courage is the ability to embrace what we don't understand. Because I know anybody can accept and embrace something that they do understand and that they know the end result. But I think true courage is when you find yourself in the midst of an opposition, piece of adversity or situation, and when you're in the midst of it, you're thinking, man, how did this happen and how did I get here? But you still have a certain level of perspective to say, even though I don't understand it, even though I don't like it, I can still trust God even though I can't trace God.
Because you're facing a disappointment today doesn't mean that you have to live defeated. Just because you're facing a disappointment today doesn't have to let you believe that your whole entire destiny is delayed and will never ever be reached. No, life is gonna have highs and lows, peaks and troughs.
It won't get harder. Like, this is the hardest part. And so if you can just make it through this, everything else is downhill. It's not that the things that the dragons are going to slay aren't going to get bigger. They are. But you become so much more equipped to slay them back.
Good days and bad days are like a coin. There are two sides. Some days are good, some days are bad, but both have currency. The value of who you are and what you'll become is how you look at the currency of the days you live. Every morning when you wake up, it is a choice, whether it be good, whether it be bad, whether it has value or whether it doesn't. If you keep counting the bad days, then all you will ever see is that everything adds up to failure. But if you can ever look at those bad days as a setup for something great to happen, why is there rain in the day that you needed sunshine? So that there could be a rainbow to remind you that there's a promise, that tomorrow is coming.
Your hard work is paying off in ways that you can't even see yet. But one day, you'll understand. And just know that even when things felt like they were falling apart, everything was coming together exactly how they should.
Don't waste your time. Do you know that everybody alive gets exactly the same amount of time we get all there is? It's what we do with it that makes the difference. Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're going to figure it out.
Think of yesterday like a completed chapter in a book full of lessons. But today, it's a fresh page, offering us a chance to explore new possibilities. It's not just a fleeting moment, it's an opportunity, a gift filled with potential. Imagine it as a canvas waiting for your unique brush strokes. In each present moment, we have the chance to shape our journey ahead.
Only have one chance at this life. You do know that, right? When the credits roll at the end of your movie, at the end of your life, it's just going to say supporting actor number 3, and it'll have your name. Don't you want to be the main star? Don't you want to be the key character in your life story? Don't you want to make the best decisions for you because you live within your mind and body and you know what you're called to do? You know what excites you. You know what you passionately get excited for.
Until you win, effort always goes unnoticed. Get used to it. No one roots for you until everyone roots for you. That's just how it works.
The beautiful part about life is in whatever we do, in whatever we seek to accomplish, in whatever we pursue. If you got two competitors, when they first start something, a winner and a loser has the exact same goal when they first started. But somewhere along the journey, the process, something is gonna happen that's gonna test your level of desire, it's gonna test your level of passion, gonna test your words and see how bad you really want what it is that you say you want.
If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study.
The reality of your life is always now. And I think this is a liberating truth about the nature of the human mind. In fact, I think there's probably nothing more important to understand about your mind than that, if you want to be happy in this world. The past is a memory. It's a thought arising in the present. The future is merely anticipated. It is another thought arising now. Okay, what we truly have is this moment.
That the storm must come to an end. But you can't get to the end if you get stuck at the beginning. Look at your life as this way. There are moments. And if I give up in the moment, I never get to see what the next moment will offer me. There's a win coming. You just don't know when. But you will win. When you get that together, you'll stop looking at yourself as losses and realize that's what makes bosses.
And remember, this journey of life, you only get one round at it. Like, you only get one chance on this planet. And if you are letting the things that happen to you dictate and mold your story, then what you're really doing is you're limiting and creating boundaries of how much you can achieve.
Most people who could exist will never even be born. And you're going to complain about the life you have? Do all you can within your power and the power of others who love you to maximize all of this.
Every time you faced a setback, the truth is you were truly facing a setup for you to become better, a setup for you to become more, a setup for you to overcome a sense of shame. Everyone falls, and when you fall, those who are still standing have a tendency to point at you. But if they're pointed at you and you feel a sense of guilt or shame that everyone knows every time you've ever made a mistake, you look again, because those who are standing and pointing at you are going nowhere. If you're on the ground and they're staring at you, you're in the same place. If you can get up again, if you can stop focusing on what they think, don't worry about the opinions of others, because the opinions of those who stand in the stands pointing at those who are gladiators in the arena, they're fans.
If you're choosing pleasure over purpose, you are struggling in life, and you've always got to put purpose first. And you may not know what your purpose is. I can tell you this. I want to find my purpose, and I have to remind him that purpose is not something that is lost, and therefore you're not just going to find it. You have to develop your purpose, and the place you start is putting off pleasure and putting off desires and focusing on purpose and duty first. Ask yourself this. I go, if I had a gun to your head and I said, pick the one thing that you want to do in life that would just make you absolutely happy, would give you a sense of fulfillment and peace of mind, the thing that you would do if money was not an issue, what is it? And most people can quickly come up with an idea, or at least a place to start. There is where you start developing your purpose.
Enthusiasm and joy that people associate with happiness manifests itself when you're moving towards a valued goal. So if you don't prioritize your goals because you don't exist within a structure of value, then you have no positive emotion. The embodied manifestation of positive emotion is the movement towards a valued goal. That's what it is. That's why you have the positive emotion. Because you are a creature that can move towards goals. And the emotional signaling of that is positive emotion. No goal, no positive emotion.
See, a lot of people have an idea or a dream and they give up on it. No, don't do that. Work your dream until it gets hot. See, most things don't happen as soon as we think they should happen. The messenger of misery might drop in on you and say hello. Murphy's Law might come by and thump you on the head. Any number of things can happen to interrupt your flow. It's okay. Don't take it personal. Just acknowledge what's going on. It's called life. And keep on working on your dream. Continue to keep on knocking, because this is your life. This is what you love. This is your passion.
Yes, I've made mistakes, but look at me now. Yes, I messed up, but look at me now. I will not walk around with the rest of my life feeling like I've messed up so bad that I'm unlovable. No, in fact, I am lovable because I have rebounded from everything that should have wiped me out. I have rebounded from everything that tried to take out my life. I have rebounded and I've redefined myself, and I will not settle.
I'm not going to give them the pleasure of them seeing me fail. I'm not going to give them the pleasure of them seeing me stop. I'm not going to give them the pleasure of them seeing me quit. I'm going to allow that thing to build me. That adversity is going to work for me, not work against me. That setback is going to work for me, not work against me. That hurdle is going to work for me, not work against me.
I just want you to remember that average is the enemy, success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch.
With that motivation, go forward into the fray, into the storm, into the heat of the battle. Where victory is forged.
You are making an impact in life and leaving a dent on this earth. Don't you worry about the times you fail. It is those moments that you were proved to be a human. It's in those fall downs you also got up, and it's the footprints that we follow. It's not the falls. You are becoming amazing.
When people can't get up in the morning, I'm going to tell you why. Because they can predict the feeling of everything that's going to happen in their life. And their body's resigned to the familiar. It says, oh, another mundane day. But remember when you were a kid and you were going on a field trip? What happened then? You were up and dressed and ready to go before your parents were up, because you knew something unexpected was going to happen. That's how we should live our lives. Waking up with the understanding to expect the unexpected, and something unusual should happen in our life as a result of our efforts.
Look at yourself. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing. Remind yourself that this struggle, this temporary pain, this fight that you're in, this is what will make you stronger and faster and smarter and better.
Don't be ashamed of your setbacks. Look for them to be setups, and then you get up. And you go after everything with gusto, you go after everything with passion, you go after everything with a sense of purpose, and when you're wrong, you keep going. When the second wind kicks in, you know there's extra power there, because there is a fire that burns within, that it takes challenges to pull out. Don't you dare forsake that setup. Get up and chase down your greatness.
You messed up. But it's not the end of the world that it seems. And it's not the end of the world that those would try to make it seem. Today's a new day. Today's a new you. And so do not destroy yourself over a man that no longer exists.
Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You were able to hear all your past traumas. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays.
More fati, which means love of fate. And it basically means love everything that happens to you as a way of learning and as a way of toughening yourself. Life involves pain. Life involves loss. The people that you know are going to die. You're going to get ill. You're going to have terrible things happen to you. People are going to screw you. Bad things are going to happen. That is life. That's what life is about. That's what any animals had to deal with. That's what you have to deal with. If you complain and you wish things were otherwise, that means that you don't love life. You don't like life. You don't accept it. Be the opposite. Accept everything that happens and find a way to love it and see the purpose behind it.
Unchosen suffering is going to happen in life. Your parents are going to pass away, loved ones are going to die, your relationships are going to break down, your body is going to fail you. And the only way that you can prepare yourself for unchosen suffering is with chosen suffering.
It all starts with a choice. You're not here by accident. You're here because of the choices you made. Good or bad, they're yours. You can't blame circumstances. You can only own up and be accountable for your actions. If you don't like where you're at, change it. You chose this. Now choose something better.
In life, you can be so gifted, right? And so I want y'all to hear this, right? You can be so gifted, so talented. Something can serve as an advantage your whole life. If you don't personally develop, right? If you don't grow, if you don't evolve, at a certain point in your life, your advantage is going to become your disadvantage. Guarantee you. That's the importance of hard work. That's the importance of dedication. That's the importance of commitment.
This one question will change your entire fucking life. Who do I need to become? That's the question. Who do you need to become this person, to achieve this success, to hit this goal? That's the only fucking question you need. Audit who you are. And you gotta ask yourself, what do I need to let go of, and who do I need to become this person?
You have to keep growing and evolving and trying to be the best version of yourself. And sometimes that's uncomfortable for people to see because they're not doing the same. Because it makes them feel like you're leaving them, you know? But that's just their own projections going on to you. And you don't need to take that onto yourself because you're growing. You're on your own journey. You're trying to be a better version of yourself.
He says when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. The pursuit of personal excellence is not a solitary journey. It's a catalyst for transformative change that elevates not just you, but the entire tapestry of your existence. Striving for continual improvement is like planting seeds of positive change, fostering environments where growth becomes contagious. As we become committed to becoming the best versions of ourselves, the ripple effect extends to the world, creating a cascade of positive influence that is tangible.
What makes you uniquely you? You can't be comfortable with yourself if you don't know who yourself is. And you can't know who yourself is if you don't stop looking at how everybody around you is and start looking at what makes you comfortable and what makes you uniquely you. There's roughly close to, I guess, about 8 billion people on this planet, but there's only one you.
To look at yourself, you have to focus deep. You have to go through a process, being honest and going, what excites me? What do I feel like makes me unique? The power that you have in life is mining that uniqueness, mining that individual quality in whatever field you go into. And so you can't have that self-awareness if you can't focus, if you can't concentrate, if you can't be bored and take a notebook and start writing things out about your childhood, about who you are, about what you love and what you hate. If you can't do that, I'm sorry, but there's no hope for you. There's really no hope for you. So you have to be able to put yourself on that information diet and go into that introspective process.
You have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. Nothing is easy.
There's always good reasons for not doing what you should. That's for sure. The reasons pile up day after day to not do what you should, especially because you're aiming at things in the future. You can put them off indefinitely, right? Because of the demands of the day. When you leave somewhere terrible, do not look back. There's no nostalgia. That's the letting the dead parts of yourself go. And then if you're going to follow the good, there's no excuse not to do it, and it means no excuse whatsoever. under any circumstances. And then it's taken even farther with regards to familial relationships. It is, you can't even let them stand in your way. And I think that's all true. Like, there's no excuse whatsoever for not getting at what it is that you should be doing.
What permission do you need? And I'm here to give you that permission. I'm here to tell you to give yourself that permission. I'm here to tell you to take the pen back and start rewriting that story. So what if you were beaten? So what if you were mentally and emotionally abused? Those are all superpowers now, because you are the type of person that went through that and came out the other side a stronger person. You have more resiliency, you are more resourceful than people that have not gone and suffered through adversity and abuse. That's the reality. We are more resilient. We are more emotionally strong, mentally tough, and we can deal with so much, but we have to first let go of the mental crippling crutch that we carry, which is this victim mindhood.
I'm gonna tell you when your life's gonna change. When you truly get fed up and you say enough is enough. When you stop going back to the things that broke you. When you stop giving people titles in your life they don't deserve. When you stop chasing after people that don't want to be in your life. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Stop holding on to things that you need to let go of.
I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy, work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. Continue to move, stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Expect things to get better for you, because they are. See, life is cyclic. You're not, whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. Not to stay, just to pass. It's just going through. The biggest challenge is to know what's happening. This is a part of this thing we call life. This too shall pass. And maintaining perspective, putting it in perspective.
Most people are so afraid to fail that they come up with this whole story that it's worse than it is. And of course, when you make it worse than it is, it overwhelms you, and now you won't begin. I've tried, what will people say? I've tried everything. If you tried everything, you'd have what you want.
It's about facing your fears. It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right for yourself and for other people.
A victim consciousness is when we allow something in our outer environment to control the way we feel and think. Something in my outer environment, some person or some condition, is controlling the way I think and feel. Now, that's not the truth. That's just a response, right? So anything that controls our thoughts and feelings causes us to be victim to those things. And the stronger the emotion we feel to some circumstance in our life, the more we pay attention to it. And where we place our attention is where we place our energy. So we're giving our life force, we're giving our power away to that circumstance.
Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look, you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect? Pick something up and carry it. Make it heavy enough so that you can think, useless as I am, at least I could move that from there to there.
The aha moment is the door that opens. But your new life does not begin unless you can step through the door. Most people, when you have an aha moment and the door to your new life opens up, instead of going, I got this, let's go, and high-fiving yourself to step forward, most of us go, I don't know if I'm worth it. I don't know if right now is the right time to do this. I don't think I'm good enough. I failed so many times I can't go through that door. That there is somewhere in your life that you know what you want. You can feel it pulling you. And you are actively arguing against it. You're bringing yourself down. You're beating yourself out.
See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. People know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
That those minutes and those hours, they turn into weeks and months and years, and holding the line in those critical minutes will put you in an infinitely better place, physically and mentally, if you maintain the discipline. So work through the weakness, fight through the temptation, hold the line. Hold the line, maintain the discipline. It is not easy, but it is worth it. Because, yes, because discipline equals freedom.
Round 3. Fight. going out with nothing to show for it. Round one. Fight. Round one. Fight. Hey.